Hi, I'm Jake Harrop, and this is my lead performance task on performance. So, my image portrayal for my beatboxing set that I will be doing. My stage name is Mushroom Beats 09, and while I'm on stage, I act crazy. I'm all wild while beatboxing because I want people to notice me and my talent. I want to come across as a crazy but safe guy who can make noises and beats with his mouth, because it's different. Not many people know the talent and it's very controversial. Excuse me. However, on occasions I want to act more serious, because if I move around too much on stage I'll end up running out of energy quicker, and which means I won't be able to concentrate on making the beats. As it's a beatbox show, I'll be showing off my skills and trying to engage the audience with the beatboxing. For my wardrobe, I'll just be wearing some casual clothing, like the clothes I'm wearing now, because beatboxers typically don't dress up for occasions. There's a few that do, but it's not a main thing. Although sunglasses I would preferably wear because they look cool. As you can see here, he's just wearing some casual clothes. There's this one. Well, pretty much most of them do. For my performance persona, again, I am Mushroom Beats. I'm a beatboxer who's serious but crazy, who moves around too much, and I throw my energy around the stage like I own the place. I confidently invite people into my beatboxing world, and I show the audience what I can do. And there's a link there, which I will show you what I mean. How do you turn that? Obviously, he's sitting down, so he's not moving around the hotbar. As you can see, he's moving around to emphasise what he's doing.
I got a bass cannon. Yeah.
As you can see, rather than just standing still while he was doing it, he was emphasising with his arms and moving around. Next slide, come on. There we go. Again, going back to the movement thing, I move to my groove, try to make it right. I bounce around, punch, for example, like punch the air if I'm doing a straight 4/4 beat, obviously to emphasise it. This is typical of a beatboxer to do, as it emphasises, and to be fair, if I was just standing there and doing it, it would just look weird and kind of creepy. This guy standing there and making noise. It also shows confidence, as I wouldn't be afraid to move around. For example, I have a video here. He's moving to the same beat as his beats. He also has communication with the audience as well. All of them do it.
Wait a second. Oui, ma jambe tape. Real rhythm. Creepy.
He's not just staying in one spot either, he's moving around the entire stage.
Autobots, roll out.
Come on. How do you get to the next slide? Oh, I'm trying to get to the next slide, I can't.
Click on the slide.
Yeah. There we go. Right, so my verbal and non-communication and non-verbal communication with the audience. My plan is I will explain what beatboxing is. I will introduce it to the audience, as not many people know what it is. While beatboxing, I plan to make certain movement cues to the audience. For example, if I make a clapping sound with my mouth, I would, if I had a microphone, it would be easy to show you. I'm just going to... Right. For example, if I'm making a clapping noise with my mouth, I'll be doing that kind of stuff to kind of urge the audience to clap along with me. Or I'll verbally ask them to get them to clap for me before I start doing it. I could potentially do like a call and response thing. Like for example, if I say, when I say A, you say O, A, O, A, O. This video, this guy does it. It's a longer video, but I'll fast forward it.
Hold up.
It's a video that I showed you.
Runways and strip clubs, I'll be making it worse. So I'll be on until I die. Middle fingers up so high.
Obviously there's some swearing in it, but he's getting the audience to raise their middle fingers at him. And he's getting them to jump, telling them to jump.
Jump on that 35. Okay.
And then later on in the video, where is it? Again, he's saying the word jump to try and get them to jump.
Everybody jump to the beat.
He's jumping as well to urge them on to jump.
Okay, to the left and the right.
This is the audience are moving along to. This is what I plan to achieve. Right, there you go. Right. The nature of the performance environment, stage, venue, etc. I will prefer my performance to be at Club 85, as it's a larger venue and it has better acoustics of the room, meaning my sound would have like a natural reverb or echo, improving the overall quality and the sound of my beats. There is lighting effects that would further emphasise my beats rather than it just being lights in here just constantly shining, like flashing lights and everything else. it's a larger stage at Club 85, meaning I would move around more rather than it being here where I'll have to have spatial awareness so I don't trip up over the monitors or anything like that. But realistically, it would be in a small venue like here, in front of around 40 people, the rest of the students. Preferably I would like it to be in a darker room, as I'm more comfortable in a darker room. I don't know why, it's just personal preference. It's a smaller room, meaning my beats can be heard from the back of the room, so everybody can hear it. And as I said, there's not much room on the stage, meaning I'll have to have good spatial awareness. I'm not sure if I spelled that right. And here's my beautiful stage plan. As you can see, this is a very flattering picture of me, with the microphone and then a mixing desk, wires going into there, and then they're the front of house speakers. I don't know if that's what you call them. Front of house speakers there, in front of me, so I'll be behind them. Right. My own ability to perform a lead role in a performance environment. I will be a good lead performer because I'm confident as I record myself and show others my beatboxing anyway. I can communicate well with the audience, again going back to the call and response thing, if I was able to do that. And I'm unique, whereas beatbox, obviously there are other beatboxers out there, but some of the noises I make, not many other beatboxers do, and it's not a common thing anymore. The things I need to work on are my breathing control, for example getting air back into my lungs, because beatboxing uses up a lot of air in one hit, so I'd have to work on getting air back into my lungs without stopping the beat. My stage movement, for example, like moving to my beats, and my time management. I don't want to, because I have certain routines that are a few minutes long, which I need to remember. Otherwise, I'm either not doing it enough or doing it more than 15 minutes, etc. I will work on these I will practice certain inwards techniques that allow air back into my lungs, like beatboxing but breathing inwards. I'll practice by sort of dancing, not dancing, but moving to my beats, like to try and keep myself in time, like my body will be like a metronome to my beats. And I'll have a stopwatch or a phone or something on stage to make sure that, well, to keep track of time. But I will time each of my routines myself beforehand, so I'll have a better understanding of how long each of the beats are. My personal equipment needs just basic microphone, my voice, mixing desk and front of house speakers, and also I'll be needing cables as well, which I did not type down on there. For the EQ settings on the mixing desk, I'll need the bass or the low setting to be higher than the high and the middle, as most of my sounds that I make are lower in frequencies. Again, I'll be needing to communicate with everyone out there because everything I'll do myself. The health and safety implications. I need to be sure not to have the volume too loud or be too loud myself in order to prevent ear damage to myself or the audience. I can prevent this by putting, is it a gate? Is it a gate? A gate on the mic, preventing the volume from clipping or exceeding the healthy amount of decibels. My throat. I need to be sure not to strain my throat, as it could cause permanent damage to my vocal cords. I can prevent this by not using certain throat techniques for extended periods of time, and I'll drink lots of water as well, as I said at the bottom there. My jaw. If I sustain certain sounds for too long, the techniques, my jaw could lock up, like in that sort of position, meaning I wouldn't be able to move my mouth as much. I can prevent this by not doing a certain technique for long periods. Microphone leads, I will tape them down as to not trip up over them. And I'll make sure to stay under 100, probably 90 decibels to prevent hearing loss. I will stay hydrated and not have any open sources of water near any electrical equipment.
Okay, so
I think that's everything.
couple of questions then. So you talked about making sure that you stay under 100 dB. How will you maintain that? How will you monitor that?
Is it possible to put like a gate on the mixing desk or like at a certain decibels? Because I'm honestly not sure how I would do that.
Okay, you could get an app for your phone, like a decibel meter.
Oh yeah, I could probably download one of those and have it on stage to make sure.
Yeah, that way you can monitor it. That's good.
Yeah.
Another thing is you said about a couple of slides back. You talked about your microphone, your equipment needs and things. Do you have a particular microphone? Are there particular equipment requirements that you have for your set, beatboxing as you do?
I don't have any specific microphone that I personally use. I guess use whatever's there available. I don't have a personal preference or any microphone that I would specifically need.
Okay, cool. Good, well done.
Any other questions?
No.